You'll have the opportunity to be exposed to a game-based learning platform that promotes creativity, collaboration, and problem solving in an immersive digital environment. Through project-based lessons, your students will be able to develop critical 21st century skills like collaboration, creative problem solving, and digital citizenship. Our first presenter, Barb Seaton, is a professional learning consultant with Fair Chance Learning. A remixed educator from outside Stratford, Ontario, Canada, Barb is brought to you by the letter M. Maths, Minecraft, microbits, maker mindsets, and hacking STEM. Barb offers a wealth of knowledge and expertise in integrating new technology. She strives to empower educators and truly learning accessible for all, or making learning accessible for all. Welcome, Barbara, to OEIP 2020. Barbara.
Boy, I feel so important now. Thanks for that wonderful introduction, and let's dive in. So I'm going to grab control of the screen. All right, and I'm going to be presenting with Pear Deck today. So if you haven't experimented with this, it's a wonderful tool for gauging your students and giving them an opportunity to share as well. So I'm just gonna get my Pear Deck going, and we're gonna go instructor pace today. So sorry, but you have to join with me. While Pear Deck's loading, I'm going to see if I can, there we go, sharing my screen. That's probably looking better for you. And I'm gonna try to get my chat up as well. In case I lose track of my chat, as sometimes happens, if you see questions, by all means, shout out to me so that I know that people need help. So just on another screen, perhaps, or on your phone or some other piece of technology, if you just jump to joinpd.com and then type in lovely Jacks Keep Orange Pears, we'll start our class. This code will be on the screen all the time, so if you get lost or kicked out or any other terrible thing, it will always be available for you. All right, let's dive in. I love trying to connect. That always makes me feel so comfortable. I see his little face is sad. If he doesn't jump in, I'll just go on without him. He doesn't look like he wants to play today, so that's my answer. Okay, goodbye, Pear Deck. Hopefully everything else will go a little more smoothly than that. Okay, let's dive in. So hopefully you got a message from your wonderful crew organizing that it would be best if you had Minecraft downloaded and ready to go. If you don't, you can sit back and just follow along, and we'll move on from there. So Minecraft, at Fair Chance, we believe strongly that students and educators, so large educators, small educators, and everybody in between, they all have that right to a fair chance at education. And we really, really believe that and strive to achieve that all the time. I'm Barb Seaton. You can reach out to me at barb@fairchancelearning.com, or I'm on Twitter at barb_Seaton. Come on. You'll have to excuse me. I'm slow at my Teams. I'm used to a Teams meeting, so Zoom is a little bit awkward for me, so I'll do my best. So I'd like to know a little bit about you, and in the chat, if you just hop on, and if you've never heard of Minecraft before, like, what is this? Give me 0. And if you are like an expert and would like to take my place presenting this, give me a 5, and I'll just keep an eye on the chat and see where we are. We won't spend too much time on this. Oh, a lot of ones. Okay. So this is introductory for everyone, and that's a great place to start. My hopes for you are that you realize it's a wonderful learning tool and you're willing to come back. Oh, my son is a 3. That is exactly the way it is. The kids know Minecraft, the adults not so much. Perfect. So Minecraft and me, I first was introduced to Minecraft by my grade 6 students because, like David said, his son is a 3, or he's a 3 rather. And they're saying, Miss Seaton, you've got to try this game. It's a wonderful game. You'll just love it. It's like, we just love it. So I downloaded Minecraft to my phone. I jumped in. And then the first thing I knew, I dug a hole and I fell out the bottom of the world. I'm like, what is this about? I'm not having fun here at all. So I put Minecraft away. So the next time we're out on the playground, the kid's like, you got to try it. You got to try it. You got to keep going. Come on. It's a wonderful game. So the next time I jump in, I meet these wonderful creatures, a skeleton who's burning up in the daylight, and this creeper guy. And I'm like, seriously? This game has these creepy people in it and things are trying to kill me? I don't get it. Where are the rules? How am I supposed to play this game? And the kid's like, oh no. And I gave up again. So Minecraft is sitting there collecting dust, virtual dust, because it's a virtual game. And then one day I saw the light. I started to see how other people were using Minecraft. So in Ontario, we have ancient civilizations that are studied in grade 4. And I saw how my grade 4 friends were using Minecraft as a place that the students could build the different creations that they saw in that from the research, and they could replicate that in Minecraft. I was like, interesting, that's an idea. And in grade 3, we have to learn about multiplication. And I noticed how my grade 3s would dive into Minecraft and build their split arrays and show how they're thinking about what a 4 times 7 array is, could be a 5 times 4 plus a 2 times 4. I'm like, so you guys won't build this on your table with the colored tiles, but you'll build it in Minecraft? And they're like, oh, we love Minecraft. I'm like, there's something here. So then we have to do some space exploration in both grade 6 and grade 9. And Minecraft nicely built the International Space Station. So I hopped onto the International Space Station, and of course I broke through the wall and I floated off into space. But the next time I hopped into the International Space Station, I was able to take a tour, meet some astronauts, flick some levers, do some studies. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I don't have to go to SpaceX to get to the International Space Station. I can do it from my desktop. And then my grade 9 friends were doing a climate study, and they were building sustainable worlds. They had studied how the climate was changing and how different places were getting too much sun and how they could use that sun for solar power. And so they were showing their new builds in Minecraft. And again, I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. You guys love working in Minecraft? That's a tool I need to know more about. So what changed for me? Well, when I was going in as a player, I thought I had to be the best player in the world. And the kids, they are light years ahead of you. So don't ask them to help you build something, because they just do it for you and they don't teach you anything. But I realized that if I can just place a few blocks, sort of have the jargon at my fingertips, as long as I know the curriculum I'm trying to pull out of them, I am good to go. So I like Minecraft as a tool to help kids show their thinking. So my goal for you this morning, I have a few, is I want to introduce you to a great learning tool. And that's all Minecraft is. It's just another tool in your toolkit, maybe good for some, maybe excellent for some, maybe a real turnoff to some, but it's a tool. And the kids, they really do love it, as I'm seeing in the chat. Oh, sold already. Okay, I'll be quiet now. And I'm hoping to give you some Minecraft experience, either by watching me build or by building yourself. And I want you to tuck away some thoughts about all that Minecraft has to offer. It's a starting place this morning. So I'm going to show you some built-in learning tools and introduce you to some ready-made lessons so you don't need to start from scratch. I'm going to show you how Minecraft can be a coding platform, because the world is understanding that coding can bring forth a lot from children. And it's also a collaborative space. So we're going to start off with a little bit of learn to play. Our fingers are crossed, we'll learn to play. So I'm going to escape from my PowerPoint, and I'm just going to find Minecraft on my desktop and open Minecraft up. So if you have Minecraft, this is your time. Open up Minecraft at the same time as I am, and then we'll dive in. Come back, Minecraft. Now, a word of warning to my Minecraft friends. When you're opening a world, you need to have a little story in your hip pocket, because Minecraft sometimes takes some time to open. So when you're in a classroom and you've got your kids in front of you and you're going to have some showing arrays and grade 4 multiplication, you have to have that little story back up while Minecraft opens, because it does take a bit of time. So while we're chatting, I'll talk about how Minecraft lives on your computer. So all of the worlds that we create live on your computer. So my world will not be the same as your world, will not be the same as the kids in your class's world. They'll be similar if we started in the same place, but they won't be the same. First off, here I am over here with my lovely blonde ponytail. As you see in the video, not, but I can change how I look. So my little hanger down here gives me access to a bunch of different skins. So they're not outfits in Minecraft, they're skins. So we have our default skins, Steve, and then the other girl with the ginger haircut. This is my favorite one at the moment. I'm going with this gal. And as we scroll down, you can see a variety of skins that you could be. I've noticed that in the last little while, these guys are very popular due to our COVID world. Yay, healthcare workers. But the reason Minecraft has so many different skins is so that if you're in grade 4 representing that ancient civilization, the character in your world can look like what they're supposed to look like. So Minecraft has tried to develop characters that suit a variety of things. Some teacher friends of mine have done a lot of work on, from language arts perspective, and building a setting for a novel that they read, or showing the main character's journey through their story. And then they can have that character look like what they think that character actually looks like. So pretty cool. So pick a skin, confirm that skin, and then we'll go back. Now, settings. Before we dive into making a world, we can set some settings up. Accessibility. Minecraft is accessible. We can have a screen reader enabled, and by clicking the button, it'll start talking for me. And I can also have text to speech, so that when I'm typing in my chat, it works there as well. So very accessible. Keyboard and mouse, unfortunately I can't read. It's a lot about clicking. I encourage people to use the mouse in Minecraft. I'm a real trackpad person, but in Minecraft I have to have my mouse because I have one hand doing one thing and one hand doing another. So you can change things so that if you're a lefty, you can have your mouse acting the way you want it to do. Lots of kids will use their game controller to run Minecraft. It is a game. It is a video game, so it's totally accessible by that. Touch is important because you can run Minecraft on an iPad. It has to be downloaded. We can't run it on Chromebooks yet, but I hear it's getting close. So that's something coming to you soon. Profile just tells you who I'm logged in under. This tab is important, video. When we hop onto video, these are all the things that we will see on our screen. And this one's important.
Barbara, we might have lost audio.
I think we're frozen.
Bear with us for just a minute. We can see if we can correct this. I think she might be signing back on. Looks like.
Yeah, it looks like she'll have to sign back in.
Yeah. Well, we can't have an OEIP without a little bit of technical difficulty, right?
Canada's a long ways away. Minute to connect.
Hokey smokes, are you still there? I hope you're still there.
We're here.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank goodness.
we're
Woo!
still here.
Heart attack. I'm like, what? Where did everybody go? All of a sudden, you can just tell when you've lost everyone. Oh, back to grabbing my screen. Let's keep moving on.
We're glad you're back, Barb.
Whew, I know. Who is going to dive in and take over for me? I was worried for you there for a minute. Okay, wait, let me get my chat back up here. Come on.
Luckily, Delbo sings.
Whew.
So does
We
Gina.
had one in the chat there that knew lots about it, so they could
There
totally
you
take.
go. There you go.
Whew.
We were hoping it wasn't Jumanji.
Yeah, no, we didn't want to get sucked into the game. Although I've seen some of the characters in the game, wouldn't mind being in there with them. Anyhow, moving on. So we want to make sure that we've talked about the character. The other important one is audio. Minecraft has noise. Honestly, when I first was playing Minecraft, I'd walk away, shut my computer, and then you'd hear this weird music and you're going, what is that? Minecraft. So in your classroom, invest in those dollar store headphones or introduce your children to turning down the sound. Because not only is there music in the background, but your characters make noise when they walk around. Storage, you don't want to look there and see how much Minecraft is taking up on your machine, so just leave that button alone. But language, this one's really important as well. Over 65 languages are accessible to in Minecraft. There's more in the immersive reader, and these ones are here on the front cover. So we're talking accessibility here, which is pretty awesome. And then way down at the bottom, this how to play button. So when my kids told me there weren't instructions, actually there are, but unfortunately you have to read them all. So if you're not a big reader, don't go there. But if you have the gift of time, it's not a bad place to start. Let's get into the game. So now we're going to play. On our main screen, we have view your worlds. This is just a window into all of the worlds that you have created. I have one or two kicking around. And then we have this library, and this is chock-a-block full of different lessons. They're sorted by lesson, build challenges, which are a little shorter, like 30, 40 minutes of worth, biomes, and how to play again. Biomes and worlds are important because maybe I'm doing a geography assignment where I have to study different biomes and compare them. Instead of me trying to build a desert, there's a desert in here. Instead of me trying to build the Arctic, there's an Arctic world in here. So I would just suggest my kids, do your research, use this biome, show me what you know. But we need to play. So we're going to create a new world. And I am impressed. My internet's not working well, but Minecraft is on fire this morning. I always modeled that we have to name our worlds carefully because there's nothing worse than when you look in or you share your worlds that you've created and they're all called new world. Hard for you to know which new world you want kids to be sharing. So we're going to call this one OEIP. And then here is where the whole world changed for me as well. When I was diving in with my grade 6 kids, I was in survival mode. So I had to craft everything. I had to build everything. I had to worry about it getting dark because that's when the evil things come out and try to eat you. Like, oh my goodness. So I found out there's a creative world. In creative world, you don't have any of those terrible monsters. Life is good in creative world. And then peaceful, no angry mobs coming to get me, no skeletons, no spiders, nothing like that. Only friendly little cows and pigs and things like that. We're not going to share our world, so we're not going to worry about that. I'm going to create a flat world. So my world won't have any mountains or be anything interesting. It's just a field of grass for as far as you can see in either world. There's times I'd use survival. If I was doing some explorers landing in a new world, I might get my explorers to my new world and then I'd make them survive. So I can change creative and survival on and off as my world goes on. So it's not that I'd never use survival, but if I want kids to learn how to multiply or represent their main character in their setting, I want them to have just creative world. I like to show my coordinates because I like to know where I am in the world. I don't need to worry about being respawned because nothing is going to kill me. In Minecraft, nothing is born, we're all spawned. So even if I'm spawning a cow, it's spawned. Cheats, I hate the word cheat. It sounds like we're doing something not quite right. It's just really a shortcut, but they call them cheats. And if you throw that word down with your kids, they'll love it because they'll think you know what you're talking about. Code builder on. I like always day because it's really hard to build in the dark. So I like always day, especially if I'm doing something creative. Way down here at the bottom, hidden, almost not important, show classroom settings. We hop in here and these are other things. Perfect weather is important. It's fun to have it rain, but it's really distracting because the rain is like big blobs and it falls down on you and it makes a ton of noise. So if you've got 30 kids raining in the classroom, no. We're going to allow mobs. Mobs are not all evil like the spiders and the skeletons. They're fun mobs too. And I like them for math sometimes. I'll use corral a few things and do some probability experiments. Who can escape the corral first? Things like that. You can allow destructive things because we're in creative, so nothing too terrible will happen. We are ready to go. So let's get this show on the road. Play. So again, this is where you have your little story in your backpack and you pull it out. Like, what do you do when you get kicked out of a Zoom meeting and you can't figure out how to get back on? Check your connectivity, which is quite funny because I'm lucky enough to have fiber optic cable to my door. So when I lose internet, I wonder what the rest of the world's doing. So we're just going to take a few moments to hop around here and show you how we can move around and access things in Minecraft. While it's generating your world, it's always giving you some nice little information. So notice this, you could copy and paste from a text editor. So if kids have research that they have done, they can put that into Minecraft quite easily. So here I am in my world. And there's my sun up in the sky. Awesome. And if I look around, I can see some mobs in the distance. Oh, they look like chickens. And my mouse arm is my eyes. So when I look at the ground or I look at the sky, I'm moving my mouse. Now, for me to move around my world, you can see that my cheats are on my screen. So forward is W, S back, A, left, right, and then I can jump and fly in Minecraft too. So we're kind of gravity defying here, but that's okay. So if I move forward, I'm gonna go over here and check out this. I think it's a sheep, so I'll get a little closer. Hello, sheep, how's it going? So these are friendly mobs, and these are the kind we like. Oh, look at him eating. And sometimes I'll find pandas, and you can pandas bamboo if you, so there we go. Now, I wanna have a bigger perspective. I can jump, my space bar, double click, and I can fly up, check out my world. You can see that it's foggy in the distance. Sometimes when we're playing Minecraft, kids who are in the know will try to find the edge of the world. That's the first thing that they do, find the edge of the world, sort of like the new explorers, and try to fall off the edge of the world. But that's what kids do. They dive in and they get going. All right, so to come down, back down to the ground. So we said it's a building world. Well, down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see I have a hotbar. There's 9 slots that I can put things in. That's like my virtual backpack. All the important things go in my hotbar. If I type E, you can see my inventory. These are all the things that I can build with. So right now I have all, and it goes forever. But we have tabs at the top to help us. So if I click the first one, these are sort of like your building blocks. So while I'm here, let's grab some, oh, let's make bricks. Grab some of those. The next one is more like equipment, and you'll notice some of them have plus signs. So remember, this is a crafting world, and in survival, you might need some of these things, and plus sign means there's more options inside. The next one are items that you might need in your house, like things that you would be, candles and torches and things like that, or signs. And the last one is natural things. I always grab a grass block because I always make holes in my surface and want to fix them so no one can see what I've done. This tab is very important. It's the search tab. So if there's something I'm looking for, concrete, then I can just start typing it in and grab some concrete blocks and add them to my hotbar. So time to build. At the moment, you'll see in my hand, I have some bricks, and to place them, I just start laying them down by right-clicking. And I can get 2 walls high pretty easily. And then I'm like, oh, but I'm 2 bricks high, so this is not going to be a great house. So I need to fly to add on another row. Oops, I made a mistake. So to break things, I just left-click on them for me and get rid of that part. So that's a little intro about how you would start building, start crafting your little house. And then you just keep focusing and building from there. And believe me, your kids would die of laughter at my building. They would think, oh my goodness, she is ridiculous. And they're right, they can build in a heartbeat. I have one colleague that I work with, every time I build my 4-sided house that's 5 bricks high, he builds a castle, like seriously. But I know the curriculum, and that's all that's really important, is that I know the curriculum. Okay, I'm gonna stop there because, and we'll just show you how you could accidentally fall out of the world. So if I dig a hole, and almost everyone digs a hole before they start. Oh, you see that empty space down there? That's the end of my world. My world is only 4 blocks thick. So I could accidentally fall out of Minecraft pretty easily, to be honest. So I'm going to stop there, check my chat, make sure that we have no questions, people are all good. And then I'm going to kind of move on to my next thing. This is just our basic, how the heck do you build? Oh, I filled my hole with a brick. Let's fix that. To toggle in the hotbar, I just use my numbers. My numbers move me back and forth. So number 1 is the first one in the hotbar. Number 2 is the second. So let's fill in my hole. There, no one's the wiser that I made a hole in Minecraft. So I'm going to put you away for now and hop back into my PowerPoint. Maybe. Perfect. So we've learned to play. You're all experts now. You've graduated Minecraft 101. Maybe. Okay. So these are our commands. The iPad works exactly the same, except when you break and place, it's just touch the screen for a long time. That breaks things, and just touch it lightly places things. So they work very nicely. There are some tutorials, and I know that I sent someone a PDF of this PowerPoint, and so these links will be in that PDF, so you can hop in and take some little tutorials to help you move around a little better and how to break in place a little better. So if someone at home is asking what you're doing, you can say, I'm learning how to break in place, and they'll think that you've absolutely been on a webinar way too long.
Hey, Barb, we have one question in our chat.
You don't want a hole in Minecraft. It's just that that's what everybody does. It's like, it's so easy to left click that you make a hole before you even know it. Like all of a sudden you're falling through Minecraft and you're at the bottom underneath the world and you're like, how did that happen? But that happens to all newbies. It's just a warning. Be careful. You don't want to fall out of the world.
Okay.
So capturing student thinking. We want our kids to be able to share their thoughts and what they've learned. And to do that, I'm going to hop back into Minecraft. Okay, Minecraft back up. So here I am with my lovely wall and no holes, it's gone. So I'm going to grab some tools that will help me share my thinking with my students' thinking. So back into my inventory. And some things exist in Minecraft Bedrock, that's the game version, and some things that I'm going to introduce you to only exist in Minecraft Education Edition. So we're going to grab our camera and plop it in our hotbar. And then I'm going to grab a portfolio, which looks suspiciously like a book. And one more thing, I'm going to grab book. The one with the feather. It's called Book and Quill. Kind of old school. All right, so I want my camera in my hand. That's in slot 5. You notice I have my camera. I'm going to plop my camera down out here. It's a lovely old school looking camera. And when I right click on it, it's smoking, it's working, it's flashing. And I took a picture of Barb standing in front of her. Lovely build. So I'm going to fly up high and see if I can get an aerial view of my world. I right click and I should get a panoramic view, but my pictures keep disappearing. Like, where did they go? I'm taking pictures, but they're not around. Let's see what's going on here. So let's take one more. Maybe I can grab that chicken. Yep, there I got him. I'm going to come back down to the land, and I'm going to open up my portfolio. And to open it, I have to lay it on the ground. So here's my pictures. Oh, very cool. So in this one, I think actually it was a duck, not a chicken. And this one here is Barb's wonderful build. So I can annotate my pictures. And this is Barb in front of her build. Or I can delete my pictures if I don't like them. But this is the important part down here, because I said earlier that Minecraft worlds only exist on the student's computer. So as soon as the student opens a world and starts building in it, the only way I can see what they're doing is by being up off my seat in the classroom, cruising the crew, checking on this one. What build have you got going on over there? But they can take pictures and send them to me with this export portfolio. So if I click on export, maybe click, it will download a PDF. Barb's OEIP, June 16th, and it gives the date. And then that student can either print that PDF, they can open that PDF and snag the pictures from there and dump it into a PowerPoint, or they can just share the PDF with you and you can see what they've got going on. Okay, awesome. So I put my little bookie away, but there's more. More, you say? So I also grabbed the book and quill. The portfolio is simply my pictures, but the book and quill is a little bit bumped up version of a book. Notice how it's empty? Great book, Barb. But I can add pictures, and then I can add text. Here's Barb. I'm going to introduce you to my wonderful build. So I can add to it. And then I can add more pages. And then I can add another picture of Barb's build, not the duck. And then I can tell you what's going on over here. And then if I sign my book, that means it's done and I can't edit it ever again. But I can also, that means I can export it and give that to my teacher. So this is another way I can share my thinking. The beauty of this thing is I can copy from another source and paste it in there. So you'll see our chat. I just copied something out of the chat and dumped it into this page. So that's the beauty of the book and quill. You can add more detail to it. So this is a place where kids can really share their understanding. My little friends in grade 3 that were doing their splitting arrays, they would have pictures of the array on one side and then they would explain their thinking in the text on the other side. I know my 5 times tables, but my 7 times tables are terrible. So I split my 7 times table into a 5 times something plus a 2 times something, and away they went. They were awesome. And just while I'm here, I'm going to jump back to the page before and introduce you to Immersive Reader. So Immersive Reader is alive and well in all Microsoft tools, but also in Minecraft, which is awesome. So I'll take a second to talk about Immersive Reader. In the chat, maybe you could shout out whether you know anything about Immersive Reader, and I'll know how fast to go or how slow. So in Immersive Reader, we press play here and then it will read to us, but there are voice settings and I can make my little guy read faster or slower. It's really funny. I love digital books, and I had one reading to me last week and the character sounded like the chipmunks from back in the day when we watched that on TV. And my daughter and husband went by and said, "Can you understand that?" I'm like, "No." It's pretty fast. And I thought, well, wait a minute. Immersive Reader has a rabbit and a turtle. I found the settings. Now my book is being read to me at normal speed. Whew, thank goodness for Immersive Reader. So I can have a male voice or a female voice, but the real power lives up here. So if I hop to my text preferences, I can make my spaces, my letters larger or smaller, depending on my needs. I can increase the spacing between the letters so that I can see them more carefully. I can change my font because I know that different fonts and different serifs are more accessible to different readers, to different kids with visibility issues. And then there's these colored backgrounds. I taught a student who used to have the dark theme. So he had to have a dark background with white lettering on it. And in that time when I was teaching this student, that was incredibly hard to come by. So to see it here, just a click away, you're like, seriously? I wish I'd had this when I was teaching that student. Then I can jump to my grammar options. As an elementary teacher, I have taught grammar and all those exciting things. And if I could have shown the kids where the nouns were on the page, that might have been a game changer. I can turn my verbs on as well. So we can talk about what's the difference. Why is this noun got a capital, but this noun does not? Proper, not, things like that. So there's lots of advantages to that part. My favorite part is under button number 3. Here's where the accessibility really moves forward. I can change my line focus. I know I've taught kids in the past where those words keep hopping around. So if we could focus in on one line, wow, would that ever be helpful for them? Picture dictionary is on. So if I show, I wonder if I'll get a picture for introduce. Nope. How about build? There we go. So it gives you an image. Oh, at the moment, mine is also coming to you in Espanol. So that's kind of nice. So it's showing you a picture so that you can help understand what the word is trying to say. So important for our ELLs and our other second language learners as well. Down here, I think I said earlier that Minecraft is accessible in over 65 languages and growing more by the time. So if you click here, you'll see a gajillion different languages that we could have this written in. So I thought I had mine in, let's go with Espanol by document. So it should take the whole thing and give it to me in Espanol. And then I can have it read. I don't think I shared my sentence, so you can't hear that. So that's Immersive Reader, the quick and dirty. I love Immersive Reader. I've had so many kids that this could help. And way easier than the old Dragon Naturally Speaking, where you spend more time training it to listen to you than you actually spend using it. But and that's another story for another day. Sometime when I'm opening up a Minecraft game, I'll share that. So that was the book and quill. Are we good? Looks like we're good. Awesome. So this. I better start using my tools better. So how else can kids share? So sometimes the book and quill and the portfolio can be clunky. They can also just take some screenshots. Come on, there we go. There we go. And if you're not sure how to screenshot, I would like to show you, but my picture doesn't want to stay there. So if you have the Windows key and the print screen, that will do a screenshot, and then they can just share those with you, or in Mac they can. So I'm thinking if you're on a Zoom meeting or in a Teams meeting or in a Google chat and you're all working on a project together, kids could just do a screen capture and share it in the chat with you. So a little easier than downloading the portfolio and sharing it that way. That works great if you're face-to-face, and I could email that to my teacher or hand it into my Google Classroom or however I'm rolling my virtual classroom. But sometimes quick and dirty screenshot does the job. Or Flipgrid's been doing some amazing things this year. They've made it possible for you to capture the screen that you're working on your computer. So you might want to do a build in Minecraft and then have your character walk through the build explaining what they did. And then your teacher would get a little video of what's going on in your Minecraft world. So another option that is pretty awesome. A reflection moment. This was supposed to be a lovely Pear Deck slide, but since that's not working, maybe toss out some ideas in our chat. How might you use some of these tools? We talked about a portfolio, we talked about the camera, we talked about screenshots. Just take a moment and reflect on how you could put these to use. So while you're thinking, I'm keeping my eye on our time and wondering why my PowerPoint's hopping all over. But we're going to talk a little bit about coding and why coding is important. We're going to try to talk about coding. So coding, research has been going on and on with kids and coding over the last umpteen years. When I first started teaching, we had this wonderful computer brought to our classroom, and it was called the Icon computer, created by the Ministry of Education in Ontario. If you can imagine a government-funded thing, building your own computer, but it happened. And it was all about Seymour Papert's logo and these little turtles walking all over the screen, and we coded the turtles to do a bunch of things, and that was eons ago. And then it got shelved because it was expensive. Go figure. But coding is important, and now it's more accessible than it ever has been in the past. What we find about with kids who are coding and who use coding regularly, it really drives innovation. It makes them become really creative, and they seem to be a little more fearless when they're diving into that. I love point number 2. Coding creates problem solving. It helps stimulate problem solving. I find that in my math class, when kids hit a problem, oftentimes it's like, yeah, I don't get it, I quit. And they fold their arms, and that's that. But in coding, they will stay there all day. You have to pry them out of their seats and kick them outside for recess because they want to figure out what went wrong. They want to debug that system. And the great thing about this problem solving and that sticking with itness, it translates to other areas. So they're better at tackling those problem solving situations that I give them in math because they've developed that idea from coding. It builds confidence. You have those kids in your class that you haven't heard from all year, and then it's like, you know, lunchtime, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice they weren't here today because they're so quiet. Sometimes these are the kids that, holy mackerel, they're the go-to for coding. I can't figure this out, please. Can you help me out? And they just rise and they blossom, and it's so awesome to see. Best learned early. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's awesome if you can start your kids with the minis and doing some unplugged activities. Unplugged meaning not connected to a computer. And kids just, they dive in and they love it. But it's good to start early, but it's never too late. Even you, I'll make you coders in the next, 10 or 15 minutes. And finally, it really gives them a chance to know about the technology that we're using. We're all over our technological tools. We have phones, we have iPads, we have tablets, we have all of this stuff, but we really don't understand how it all works. And I think that's, you know, we need to be more important and more aware of what those things are. So we're going to take a moment and do a real quick and dirty introduction to coding in Minecraft. Hopefully. So we're going to go back to our little game. So to jump into our coding platform, we simply type C, and my coding opens up. So Code Builder is like an overlay on top of the Minecraft program. Code Builder is based on MakeCode, and if you just Google MakeCode, the same sort of thing pops up. They're set up all the same. This little switch toggles me back and forth, or I can go full screen. And as I scroll down my page, you'll see my projects. Sort of sounds like Minecraft. But as I scroll down, umpteen different tutorials that when I'm, you know, sitting there watching the news, it seems to be all the same all the time. I can scroll through these tutorials and try one out. This one's really fun, making giant letters up in the sky. This particular one has been made with dynamite, so you can blow it up at the end. But the chicken rain is lots of fun. And what's great about the tutorials is that they only give you the blocks that you need to build, so it's pretty straightforward and easy to use. So let's pop up here and jump into an FCL coding project, one I did yesterday because I wanted to do some building. So my little code guy, that's him carrying the box of tools. So Code Builder is a block-based program. And by block-based program, everything looks like there's blocks of code in our drawers. I liken these to drawers where you keep all your stuff in them. And when we're dealing with a block-based coding platform, they're all color-coded. So if I'm looking for green blocks, I look in the green block house. If I'm looking for purple blocks, I should be looking in the purple house. And they're just blocks of code. If any of you have used Scratch or coded a microbit or done any of the Wonder Dash and Jot, same sort of thing, block-based coding. So in this instance, I've got a bunch of commands already set up for my little guy. So let's see if we can make him do a square. So I'm gonna hop back into my Minecraft. And then I get my chat box out. And I'm not even sure where my little guy is. So I think I'm gonna have him come to me first. Let's go back. It's gonna tell me that there's nothing there. That's okay. I want my little guy to come to me. So I'm gonna just have him teleport to me at agent. So this will bring my little code guy to me. So if I stand there he is. He looks like a little puppy dog. He's really cute. I'll move out of the way so you can see his little face. Oh, that's his tushy. Other side, there he is. And he's really funny because he always, when you move around, he looks at you. If I jump up, he'll be looking at me. He's my little friend, my little agent, and he does all the work. So I'm gonna have him do something. Let me see, I think if I have him build, he should build something. And then whatever word I told him, we'll do it. So go for it, little guy. Oh, he can't build. So I'm just gonna stop him. I forgot to give him some stuff, so he can't do anything. I don't usually start in the middle. So where'd my little guy go? Oh, I'll teleport him back to me. He's still trying to build. It's a bad example, bad teacher. He's still trying to build. But the thing is, he can't build because he doesn't have any blocks. And now he's looking at me. So I'm gonna bring him back to me. I'm gonna give him some blocks. So I have to go over and I'll check his inventory. Notice he's empty, that's why he couldn't build anything. So let's give him some green concrete. Now he'll be able to code. So T. Come to me. And then I want him to build. Okay, now this time he's gonna build me a nice thing in the sky. So I'll move out of the way so you can see him build. And I'll look up. He's up there, he's gonna build me a house that's about 4 blocks high of lovely green concrete. And this is what's really important about this guy, because you can have him build all kinds of things. It would take me 3/4 of an hour to build a house that tall, but he just ripped it up there in, how long were we speaking? Awesome. I'm checking my chat. Chromebook, yes, it's coming. I understand that they're really close and hopefully by fall it will be ready for Chromebooks. The trouble is that Minecraft is a download. And so if it can't live on your computer, that's a problem. And that's why so far we can't be in on Chromebooks. So you go away for a while and we'll hop back to our PowerPoint. Awesome. Any questions about coding? Again, if you have the opportunity, I have a feeling I'm just going to stay here and instead of going large, because it just doesn't seem to want to play well today. As I say that, I open it anyway. So remember those tutorials? They are an epic place to start. Come on, there we go. Another great one that uses the coding was this year's Hour of Code. They were looking at the problem of forest fires in Australia. So they used artificial intelligence to train our little guy here to look at, they taught him that bundles of sticks and dried up leaves were bad. So he crushed them and got rid of them as a way of fighting against giving the wildfires more energy. So they used artificial intelligence and they used coding to teach this little guy how to fight fires. It's pretty cool. It gives kids both the coding piece, but it also gives them that piece around AI. So this is a wonderful little infographic about all the Minecraft educational things. The link is in the PDF, I hope. If it's not, you can reach out and we can hook you up with that. So it talks all about, if you've forgotten, there's the movement, how to break in place, how to get into your inventory. We did not talk about NPCs because we're short on time today. That would be a longer workshop. We did dive into Code Builder, and we looked at the book and quill and the camera. So all of these tools help you with Minecraft education. So we want to show you just a few snippets of what lessons are already created that you don't have to start from scratch with. Come on. Well, this should be a video. I love technology. It talks about the Mindful Night, which is a wonderful little download that we're not going to get to. Oh, maybe we will. And there he is. Thanks, Guy. So that is the Mindful Night lesson. And what I love about that one is that it teaches you all of those different techniques for you to cope with stress, which is pretty important in our living in our interesting time. The next little snippet, if it works, is a really short video about digital citizenship. And this lesson has the kids, oh, your kids, I'm sorry. It has the kids work through a variety of different things that you would run into online. And for example, they get harassed by an online creeper and somebody comes and steals their stuff and plagiarizes their build. And what's great about it is that the kids can actually get in there and experience online bad behavior in a safe, contained environment. So they're working in groups trying to overcome that all the pieces that you need for digital citizenship and good digital citizenship in a really safe and contained environment, which is awesome. Chemistry. I don't know if there's any chemistry teachers out here, but I have tried to teach chemistry many times, or you're doing those different things like electricity and you spend more time hunting for the stuff than you actually do using the stuff. But in Minecraft, all of the things are here. So you don't need to find your protons and your electrons to create hydrogen. You can just build them in Minecraft, which is pretty awesome. And we're really not constrained by anything. The thing I like about doing chemistry in Minecraft is that if you accidentally blow things up, it doesn't matter. It's just a game. Okay, and on Twitter, I find lots of people sharing things. Like, for example, I made this little world in grade 6. We have to build three-dimensional shapes with blocks. Minecraft, go figure. And then we have to do isometric drawings of them. So we use the isometric dot paper and draw them from different vantage points. And then we have to show what the top, bottom, and sides look like, top, side, front look like. So different views of these 3D shapes. So it's an obvious great win for that one. And that's just a quick one that I made up myself. It was not that big of a deal. Come on with the video, you could do it. Oh, this is awesome. These kids talk about electricity.
Barb, we don't have any audio.
Oh, so we'll just talk about them. So these little mini people were learning about sources of light, and then they dove into Minecraft and they practiced with natural sources of light, and then they got into a little bit about electricity and what things would create electricity as well. So pretty cool. And finally, my comic book world. They call it a comic book world, but I thought that this would be a great place where you could hop into this already created little building and show your life in a day, or your day in a life, or you could show a different character from a novel, what they're up to, or you could use it as a comic book and have different action going on in each one. Already created for you. All you need to do is share that world with your kids and they can make with it what they will. These all exist on Minecraft Education Edition. I follow them on Twitter, and I find that I'll often be texting myself, oh my gosh, I love that lesson, got to check it out later, with the gift of time. So I'll send it to myself, and then my email is full of ideas that I can use. You can go to educationminecraft.net, and if you look under the classroom resources, there are lessons, the biomes we talked about earlier, the challenges. Lessons tend to be more fleshed out with a lesson plan and objectives and student success, and sometimes even come with a rubric. And the challenges are a little bit more of a snippet in time, so something that you could dive in with quick and dirty and just get your feet wet with Minecraft, but all in all, a great place to begin. Hopefully you're thinking about how you might be using some of these resources. Oh, I'm trying to keep chat. I see nice and cool. I look at the longer ones. Oh, great. Ah, social emotional learning at your school. That's great. So yes, the Mindful Night is a good one for that. Another quick and dirty lesson that I learned on Minecraft, for Minecraft, is just having your kids think about a color that reflects how they're feeling, and then build a symbol out of that color that would reflect how they're feeling. And it just gives them a chance to kind of get in touch with where they're at. Just a quick introductory build. And oh yes, code combat. Nice, very good. So some people I see are already using Minecraft, which is awesome. Collaborative builds. So in Minecraft, when I was showing you the main screen, there's this join world. And in your join world, students have the opportunity to be all in one world. I really do know how to run my computer. It's just acting interestingly. So I won't play our little video, but the student is showing you how that join world is in the center screen. So he can share his world with others. And to do that, Minecraft will create this little code. And then the other kids that he would like to join him in his world can just type in that code, so you can have many students in one world at a time. So in our remote world, well, let's talk face-to-face first of all. So in a face-to-face classroom, this is easy. The kids just jump into other worlds. You can have up to 30 students in a world. I know some teachers have all of their kids come in, maybe have a community circle in Minecraft, and then they'll go off and do some builds. The digital citizenship lesson that I shared, that's the whole class in one world. You can set it up that way, and then send different groups off to do different digital citizenship pieces, and then they can come back and share as a whole group. So that works nicely. In a remote world that we're living in, nope, don't do that. I want to go on. We have lots of people in Canada who are creating some really cool worlds. I'm showing you the bad scene first, unfortunately, so back out there. So the folks up in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia have created a giant server where kids can log in, and kids will jump in online Minecraft at like, oh gosh, 11 o'clock in the morning, and they'll stay there all day building and crafting in Minecraft. So it's providing a real filling a need right now. And we have some other kids that are also doing some builds in digital citizenship digitally as well. And why are the cats on the front? There are friends up in Thunder Bay way north of here, they have office hours from 10 to 11:30 where kids can hop on and do builds. I know for Star Wars Day, May 4th, they all built a lot of Star Warsy things. It's just giving kids a chance to get together in a world with others and practice that collaborative piece. In a face-to-face situation, it's awesome for having kids tackle problems and working together and seeing how they work through that. Who's going to build the castle? Who's going to put in the moat? Who's going to put on the drawbridge? And then they work through those things. It gives them a chance to work together and problem solve. I love this one from Twitter. Hadn't been able to meet face-to-face since whenever COVID shut your part of the world down. And the kids all jumped in Minecraft, and it was kind of just nice. Some kids were able to get there, and there they all are looking at their teacher saying, hey, we're here. So maybe we can't meet face to face, but they could meet up in Minecraft, which was kind of an interesting way of tackling it. So supporting you on your journey. I've been prattling on here for almost an hour, so time to help. Where can you go next? There's a remote learning document that there's all over the internet you can pick up, and it will help you think about how you could use Minecraft to support your students at home in their at-home learning environment or moving forward in the fall. The website is your go-to place for everything. If you need a download or classroom ideas or you need support, they are fabulous. If you have a problem, they get right back to you. I've gone to them several times with questions and they always get right back, even if they get back to say, don't know, but we'll get back to you on that. They really do. They mean it. I talked really quickly about the camera tool and the book and quill. If you forget what I said, there's this great Learn to Play repository of Minecraft videos. None of them are longer than 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes 57 is the longest one I saw. They go all through it. They're very patient. You can go through it again with them, and it's always there for you. So a great way to learn. Pinterest, crazy, crazy thing that lots of people post different ideas that they're using in Minecraft on Pinterest. So if you're a Pinterester, you might want to check out the Minecraft education on there. I love it on Twitter. I get tons and tons of ideas from Twitter. So these are the handles that I follow at PlayCraftLearn or #MinecraftEDU. There's people posting all the time. It's actually kind of crazy. Once you get into this community, you're like, oh, I would never have thought of that. And finally, don't forget, I'm still at Fair Chance Learning. You can reach out to me or follow me on Twitter. And crazily, we're having, I call it Minecraft Madness Month. June, we've been offering a ton of free webinars. Everything you wanted to know about Minecraft, probably way more than you wanted to know Minecraft, and are afraid to ask. But if you want to hop onto our website and looking at webinars, we have a ton of them going on in June. So that I will pretty much concludes what I have to say. And so I'm going to hop off of sharing and turn it back over to my friends at OEIP.